Hello, everybody. Good night, good evening, good morning. We're speaking from Brazil, so here is good night. Good night, Marcelo.
Good night. Good night for all. It's a pleasure meeting you. It's a pleasure talking to you all.
Yeah, let's see if our audio is working well. Would be very helpful if someone can type in the comments like just a thumbs up for us to know that everything is working, everything is happening just fine. So Marcelo is a guy with a huge experience on interviews. He just said me that he's done 108, 100 and how much? It's more than 100, I
Uh,
remember.
Approximately almost 200.
Wow, that's a lot of interviews. I'm very curious about his experience. I have never done an interview in English myself. I've worked for startups and companies from outside Brazil, but I'm from the networking side. I know people who know people. They know me, and that's more the path I took. But I know a lot of guys who have a good experience. I have a friend from PBA on Polkadot, Sergey. The guy has like how can I say, he likes interview. Even when he was working for other companies, he was doing interviews with others to keep like improving his skills on interviews. And that's so crazy. How is that for you? To what was a goal? Like, I want to do more than 100 interviews. And how was that?
Oh, it's a very interesting because this all interviews in general, it's each abilities are for the certain position. It's a very important. All of the aspects in general for the candidate. For instance, the comportamental, the environment in general for the point science for your good interviews in general for testing and your abilities for communication and abilities for hard and soft skills in general.
Nice. So you usually, how did you usually prepare for the interviews? How is like your approach? You have some kind of, I don't know, script of self presentation, or is like for by based on question? How does that usually goes?
It depends on the company, it depends on the project in general, but it's all candidates in general. It's very important that have the script for the path in mailing in the practically in the path of carry and path for the objective and position, objective and the company. It's very important. Study previews the company, previews the technologies used at that of the company in general. It's very important of evaluated in general for your capacity and development for any orders, for instance, and layer administration and managers in general, evaluate the position and the abilities compared with the company, the projects of the company at the moment, and the future also, because these all the positions in general for this each abilities and each an environment for the company in the question.
Get it. So before going any further, I have already have some questions on the comments. I know you want to present us something today. I would like how you prefer that. Can I giving you the reading the question as they come up, or you prefer to separate time on the end to just
Mm,
answer everyone's question?
all right.
I don't
I have
know.
a presentation. Let me share with you.
Okay, I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but it's kind of lagging.
Uh,
I don't know if it's our connection. Let's see.
let me
Yeah,
check.
now I'm hearing you well, listening
Oh my
well.
god. All right. All right.
Yeah, let me put on the stage. Perfect.
Let's
I
stop
think
the presentation.
Thiago asked on the comments a question that I know that you will answer during the presentation. If if not, just let us know, Thiago.
Mm.
Career path for the
Can
web.
I start?
Yeah, it's yours.
All right, all right. Let's go. And today, practically, I'm aborting for the carry path for the Web3 market because this executes and the entry in the Web3 because this which path to take and which path to start today. All right. Um, uh, let's go the approach. It's specific for the form, the simple form. It's specific the carry path for the web market and the following and at the moment and the futuring. All right. All right, the terms in the question. The terms aspect is for an initial Web3 market. This is specific on the marketing question. It's a Web3. It's a totally different in Web2 because this it have the several
Hey,
aspects.
Marcelo.
And this, all right,
Sorry to interrupt, but are you skipping slides because we are just seeing the home?
all right, all right, all right. I apologize.
No problem.
It is the Web3 and is totally and different for the Web2 because this and the several aspects. In the aspects and it specifically, it's a more the integrations, languages, programming languages, integrations, and the several companies. For instance, Chainlink, WebSockets, SDK, and several technologies uttered for the Web3 and the languages and the lacks specific and the technology and the order soft skills related it to the other professionals in Web3. All right.
Got it. We are still seeing just the home. I hope you are not presenting. Yeah, nice.
All right. All right. Oh, I apologize. In this topic is specific Web3 market. The carry in the Web3 market. What the essential skills and knowledge is specific for the Web3. Involving to higher levels, it's very very important because this and the future, what they do, it's specific for the involving to higher levels, and the other aspects carry transition to Web3 and consolidation and growth and the Web2 query and conclusion and the final. All right.
Nice.
First, why the Web3 market? And it's very interesting. It's more and more important. Uh, for instance, user adoption. User adoption. It's a million, practically million crypto users, and 2023 practically and they grow since 2021, and in the future it projected to reach 1 billion by 2030. It's very very interesting. The Web3 market is increasing each year. All right. Develop grow, it's a more common. It's a practically and it's a there is the several active Web3 devs practically 15 yearly increase. It's a increase. It's a super net. Ethereum has practically 200 devs in Polkadot, Solana, Avalanche, and also on Green and the other layers in general. Practically, and we have several protocols at the moment increase and surging and each year. All right. And it is most important and database in the Web3. It's related the market cap. Market cap, it's a the database it's more important. Practically 1.80 trillion and 2023. It's very extraordinary. They expected to exceed practically 80 trillion by 2030. 2030 it's the date for the future, more approximately for the practically and prevision for the Web3 at the moment. And in the other data, very important, the funding and jobs. Funding and jobs is are the database. It's more important. 33 billion invested in Web3 startups and companies, until big companies also invested in several startups also. All right, Web3 job growth practically and the 400% in 3 years with high salaries.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
very
all
interesting.
right.
That's very interesting because when you compare with the, let's say, Web2 market, these numbers,
Sure,
they can vary a lot. And when we look for AI, for example, there is a lot of money being invested as well. But that's the big difference between, like, the I don't I how would I put this, in terms of data used for the Web3 market and the AI. So in Web3 market is basically financial data. You mostly be using, for sure, there are some apps which who use NFTs to, tokenize real life items, but mostly the opportunities that I have seen so far, they are all more related to DeFi and financial apps. So if you have some interest to understand not just how programming and this all logic, how this works, but also how math and financial, how the finance works around the world, it's a very good niche to start, because Web3 is global by default. So today you can, find a job opportunity on US, India, or even Asia. There's the whole world is global by default, and it's borderless in terms of money transferring. So when today, if you think, okay, if I found a job on Russia, how will I receive money from Russia? If you take the bank path, would be very harmful, because there's a lot of staffs and docs and bureaucracy and fees you need to pay. But on Web3 is easier than all the other markets. So it's like global by default. Keep
sure.
add Marcelo.
Because this, moreover, and we have the CBDC and the several regions and several countries surging practically. And depends on the regulation and depends on the country specific, but it's we have the several assets related to the cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, NFTs, and several tokens distributed and the several regions for the each necessary for the increase and the cryptocurrency and culturing are in region specific. For instance, we have the MiCA in Europe. The regulation is very strong for the cryptocurrencies and the open several brokers and the several companies and today. And Asia is very strong with the several brokers and cryptocurrencies also. It's very interesting. All right. And what's the new fronts in the new in Web3 market? Practically and financial and legal. Practically define market project to reach practically $31 billion by 2030, creating demand for legal experts to navigate the regulations and the financial analysis structure products practically. Basically, the legal and compliance roles and grew practically and 3 times in Web3 between only 2022 2023. I don't have the database and in 2024. It's very interesting. And for other aspects, ATR, talent management, it's the pillar, the fundamental pillar, and several companies in general. The DAOs and the decentralized companies, I redefining hiring with DAOs, valued approximately at practically and $16 billion, needing 18 or professionals to build talent strategies. Um, Practically remote working, it's increased demand in the Web3 growth, practically the 400% from 2021 to 2023, making ATR the very important roles critical, right? In marketing, it's other fundamental pillar. It's more specific on marketing and business development. Basically, the NFT metaverse sectors alone attracted practically and more than 100 in the billion, over $100 billion in investments and 2022, with ongoing need for practically markets and the business developers to build a community and drive engagement. Practically, it increase it's extraordinary. Strategy and economics, it's very important, and a fundamental pillar in the several startups and the big companies in general. The Web3 adds practically 1 trillion to global GDP by the 2030. It's very extraordinary and decreasing, practically economic decreasing, open up roles for economists for to model new token economics, for tokenomics, for example, and the strategies to guide growth in emerging markets. Practically, it's very interesting, the database.
Nice, is definitely a huge market.
Yeah. It's at the moment. It's a moment is now for entry for in Web3. For the all professionals in general, I talk to you for the layer, the economist, the marketing, ATR professional, all professionals in general for the Web2 to Web3. All right. But it's opportunity for business, but it's I don't for the professional arbitry. I professional arbitry. No problem. You don't need to be a blockchain expert. I mean, always the phrase. I like phrase. You don't need to be a blockchain expert, because this Web3, it's a more compared Web2, but it's a different totally and in technologies, but it's in activities and abilities. It's more compared, it's more equal, because this practically your abilities in Web2, it's necessary in Web3. All right. For instance, start with the basic. Uh, Practically, begin with the foundational knowledge with the blockchain concepts and the forums, blogs, articles, and several protocols. It's very important. Even if you're from a non-technical background, it's a very important. Is activity. It's forum, blogs, articles, and the other professionals, including and groups. For instance, in Web3 Dev, it's an excellent group for studies, for articles, and for videos, webinar. It's a very important, all right, for the entry initial to start for the beginners in Web3. Other aspect, gain a broad overview. It's necessary explore Web3 trends like DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, practically regulations in the several regions, regulations in the other countries, for in France, India, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, United States, and several others, Australia, Tokyo, Japan. It's a very important studies the several regulations and understand what's the trends in the several countries and regions. All right. Other aspects, very important. Upskills gradually. Gradually, it's very important. Learning relevant skills over time in areas like smart contracts, decentralized finance, regulations on marketing direction for the specific in the Web3, crypto regulations, several aspects, and the inherent in the Web2, it's related to Web3 also. It's very, very important, very important for the opportunities for the beginners, for beginners in the start in Web3.
Yeah, that's a very good uh, starting point, because with crypto you have the opportunity to learn a lot of different sections of the system, how the system really works. And basically because they are, crypto is kind of an update of past and old ways of doing stuff. So when you, like Marcelo said, you have the opportunity to learn different abilities. For sure, he mentioned smart contracts, decentralized finance, regulations, and these are just a few options, because there's like marketing, all these other aspects that any market requires to keep growing. It's also needed in Web3. And this is just being made from the whole starting point. So there is no like huge company dominating something. For example, if you try to start a business on, let's see, um, I don't know, whatever food you decide, it's ice cream, you have McDonald's, you have Bob's, you have a lot of different brands that they are like leaders in that market. But when you look to Web3 as like, I don't know, marketing platform, which one to pick? There's a lot. There's no market leader for anything. So you have a lot of opportunities, because there's different ways to approach these problems, and you don't need to be a developer. For sure, if you do some boot camp of smart contract, it will give you a strong basis, because as being the beginning and being a software niche in the market, you need to have some knowledge about how smart contract works, how a line of codes interoperates with the machine. Have some basic knowledge. You don't need to be an expert on that. But yeah, that's it. I think Marcelo has more to share. I was just wanna say, I just wanna increase what he's saying, to mention that there's a lot of opportunities for beginners.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And for instance, in the project managers, for example, it's the only project. It's more compared with the Web 2 and 3. All projects is equal practically. It's manages practically. It's necessary in Web 3 because this today. Practically the project managers, it's the owner dev. It's not possible because this the dev is responsible for the code, for the integration, for the platform, and the manager or the project manager it's responsible for the chronogram and controlling for the project in general, for the communication with the other areas in general. It's a very very important, the each professional and the each position. All right. All right. The next slide. It is my recommendations to start or carry transition also. Practically engage in the industry communities. Practically, I say join forums, study groups, webinars. With the Web3 Dev and sector events to stay informed and connect with Web3 professionals. It's a very, very important. Voluntary for projects. I'm starting in Web3. I don't know. I don't know. Do no problem. And entry and voluntary for projects. Get hands-on experience by contributing to voluntary projects in areas like environmental and the humanitarian causes, where the Web3 solutions are applied. We have the several projects and that the environment, the humanitarian causing, that you start at the moment. It's a very very important. It's a to start the first step. Or first step, it's more important than the study in the forums. It is necessary to start and the first step. All right. And the other aspect is very important. It's collaborate across disciplines, network with other professionals entering Web3, layers, journalists, psychologists, and administrations to exchange educational resources and discussion all moment, discussion and WhatsApp and forums, relevant local and global issues. It's very, very important. The workshops of the protocols, because these talking about directly and the several aspects in the related the protocol for the marketing, for the regions regulations. It's a very, very important is incubating, collaborating, participating in several projects for starting carry and increase your experience in general.
I would say that for my past experience, one of the best things I've done to meet people and get opportunities on my door is like going to events. Talking to people ERL is very, very important. But if you goes to a ERL event and you don't know who to talk to, it's probably because when you was offline or asynchronous, you wasn't contributing, you wasn't reading, you wasn't doing stuff. So if you start like going to ecosystem, read their docs, try to understand and know who did what did, how this project works, it's good to focus on one ecosystem. So if you pick one ecosystem, understand some of them, and there's like Solana, Ethereum, Polkadot, all of them with their different goals. So if you connect yourself with one of these ecosystems and you try to understand more about it, read more about it, their Discord, their forums, etc., etc., you get a few names, and once they have one in real life event that you can attend, and you know, oh, there's probably these people, these are, you have content to share, and you will connect to other people. You have connections will be made, and this is the most important part, is connect to good people, because opportunities come from people involved in that ecosystem, or any other, any market, any niche you decide to go in your life. You see that people is what makes that market, so you need to connect to people.
It's true, it's true. Sure. And the other slide, and I talking about and very important essential skills and knowledge. It's necessary for both is start or the career transition. It's no problem. It's very, very important. It's more related for the soft skills. Is true, but it's a very, very important for equilibrated or compared with hard skills. Hard skills is more easy because this I got it with the certification, specialization, and the other courses in general. But the soft skills only with the experience and hands-on and participating in several projects in general. It's very, very important. The session skills as such as collaboration, clear. It's for instance, other very, very important communication with the other teams and project participants. It's necessary the good communication with the other teams and the other members in your teams and your company for understands the other areas in general. For example, and the talking about with the manager, talk the team, talk the dev, talk the ATR professional. It's a very, very important communication all the time. All right. And other aspect important, problem solving skills. It's very, very important because I saw several devs in general only code, only the integration, only the orders, but it's more problem solving in truth. It's a more and more difficult because this it's a first I understand the problem for the client, and the after practically and the development and the working with the other members in company for the problem solving. All right. Other skill, it's a very, very important adaptability, because the project is in general and practically and several overlaps. For instance, in Brazil, a dev in Brazil or the manager in Brazil, and practically at this distance for the, for example, in India, and practically the 80 to 90 hours, the difference, it's of overlap. It's a huge overlap. It's a very, very important adaptability. Relates the hour, relates the time, for the meetings, for the in general, for the problem solving and the project in general. All right. Other ability, it's necessary, essential skill. It's a willingness to learning. Willingness to learn. It's very, very important, because this the technology practically uh, always have news, have the updates, have the workshops for the launching new protocols, new integrations, new regulations in culturing. It's a very, very important willingness to learning, and mi- uh, mind of out the box, yeah, out of the box, because this willingness to learn is a very, very important for any professional and any position today at the moment. I don't only in the Web 2, but is in Web 3 also. All right. And the last, openness to new approaches. Openness to new approaches, because this each problem its solution. Uh, uh, the problem specific, it's a the determined solution for the client, for the company, for the region, for the country in general. All right. It's very, very important. All of the essential skills and knowledge in general.
Yeah, I think it is willing to learn is what defines if you succeed or not. If you does you have no natural inner interest in learning new stuff, it's probably, if you was wondering is that thing for me or not, and you don't have any willingness to learn, it's probably not, because you are required, you even need to learn a new language, new ways of thinking around the problems, new lot of new stuff that you need to guide yourself in the, okay, which one of these new stuff I want, oh, this one, because this have some, but if this willingness of, this
It's very,
to
very
be
important,
active, to keep
sure.
learning, it will be very harmful, very, very hard to keep going on this path. But I know that today it's make these things easier for us, because you can watch any other thing on YouTube. You can very quickly know what is this Web3 about, to what is anything about. You just research on YouTube, get some ideas, see, oh, this is the path I want to take in my life. Because I think most of the people I have talked to previously on Instagram that asks me about crypto, how this market works, everything, they receive a lot of inputs, a lot of different inputs, like, oh, I can work with this, I can work with on that, a lot of different scenarios to live their life. So we are here talking to beginners, for someone that is doing something else and are willing to join crypto. And so, and many people I know, they are coming to crypto as an some kind of excuse or solution for financial problems, because there's opportunities out there. So if you are in this case and you want to learn, this is the perfect place, because there's a lot of different companies that requires people like you, like us, that wants to, okay, I need to learn something new, I need to understand how the international market works, all of that, how transactions internationally work. I came from a small town and I haven't learned anything about, I don't know, fees, how to declare your pay your tax to the government. I haven't learned anything about it. And from nothing on crypto, you'll be learning how other countries does that, and you'll be questioning how we do here. So this opens your mind to a lot of different scenarios, different opportunities. It makes you another person. So if you are willing to do that, just join the boat.
It's true. It's true. We have, for instance, practically the CVM responsible for the regulations in Brazil, and the USA, practically the SEC, it's the regulations. It's more limit for the solutions in general. We don't have, for instance, tokens for real estate in Brazil, but it's in Thailand. It's possible. It's very very attention. It's a dangerous. It's a very very important attention with the several regulations and mind open for the several regulations in the several countries for the other projects in general. So it's true, it's true. All right, and the next slide. Um, what is the strategies for consolidation and growth in the Web3 carrying? Basically, it's a very very important. This the professional it have the personal commitment to constant updating and learning. It's very very important. The personal commitment, it's the fundamental pillar for the learning and the advancing in your career. It's practically the personal commitment. It's a very important for the uh, path carry and any carry for the professional in general. All right. The other aspect is very very important. Also, it's active participation in workshops, DAOs, study groups, and events for participating in webinar such as Web3 Dev. It's a very very important for the consolidating knowledge in general. This for your carry. All right. And however, it's important to seek certifications, courses, and specializations in your area, specific in Web3, integrated with Web3 technology, always with a focus on expanding to executive or specialist levels, because this you're following the path they carry for the executive, specialist, and other levels, high levels for your carry. And the connect with the sector leaders. It's a very very important, mentors and peers in the Web3 space, and both online and offline. It's important. Presential personal, it's a very very important for the conferences, workshops, to stay updated and on the trends and the opportunities, and to foster valuable collaborations for the several projects that appraise for the carry growth. In your carry in general, right? It's a very very important to connect with the other people's, other professionals, and the other protocols and the markets in general, because this increase your knowledge and in your and the path practically and your carry. And the next slide. All right. And I put it practically all informations relates the practically average salary market. The many devs and many professionals in general in the Web2 uh, tell me about it practically with what the average salary, what the average salary. Okay, calm, relax. Let's go seek, let's go study, let's go evaluate the several radios. It depends on the company, depends on the country. Practically, the vision for the future of Web3, it's increase each year. It depends on the market in general. For instance, in bull market, for more and maximi and the salary, yeah, at the practically at the high level, and the falling market. I mean, it's a practically it's a more rate in general. It depends on the region, depends on the country. It's practically it's a it depends on in general for the year and the marketing at the moment. For example, the need for Web3 developers remains stronger, with salaries range. They range from and practically 100 and to 200. It depends on, but other professional fields are also seeing significant growth, like as legal professionals, layers specialized in Web3, crypto regulations, and DAOs can expect salaries average from the over 100 for 200, depends on the experience and the role. All right. Markets, for example, digital markets with expertise in NFTs, DeFi, and Web3 community manager can the year between and the 18,000 for 100 approximately annually. It depends on, all right? It depends on the experience, depends on the culture. uh, Only in the project manager, for instance, experienced project managers in the centralized teams can earn around the 100 and 200. It depends on the country also. Managing across functional teams and Web3 companies in general. All right. And other professional economists and financial analysts, it's a very important for all projects in general, all projects around the world. Experts in tokenomics, it's a fundamental pillar in the Web3. Financial modeling, it's other aspects important for Web3 projects. And decentralized financing strategies are seen as salaries and 90,000 and one 100. It depends on the region. All right. And the ATR specialists, professional and human resource, it's very important for the server interviews. And the other aspects specialize in those managed decentralized autonomous organization, for instance, DAOs. Can expect to earn between the 90,000 and to over 100 annually. All right, it's a this the average salary in the market is depends on the country in general.
Yeah, there's one I know from my friends around that is requiring. There's a lot of people talking about it. Is researching. So there's a lot of friends who are working with research and delivering works for other companies related to hedge funds who needs to know which projects to invest, but as well other projects who needs content creation. They need someone to write about their documentations and stuff, so they need researchers to do the research about the project and write about it. And it's one that I see it's increasing a lot. And I think is the average salary, it's not that much. It doesn't reach the 100K per year, but it's something very good as well.
Yeah. It depends on today at the average salary market for devs, for instance, it's approximately for the range and the 4,000 to 6,000. It depends on the experience. For the high level, it's approximately and the 8,000 to 10,000 approximately. It depends on the country and the region specific. All right. And in the carrying planning, it's a very important, and many professionals don't do. It's very important. Situation for the at the moment, situation that you're carrying, it's a very important. For instance, economist in the first year, it's necessary entry, and for instance, financial analyst, for example. All right, it's a what is the path might carry in the Web3, and the next level, it's approximately in the 3 years. The next step is the Web3 financial products coordinators, for instance. It's possible. It's true because this the market in general. It's have the more and more necessity the several professionals today. It's the hype and the several steps. It's practically it's following the path in carry Web3. All right, it's necessary. It's do the planning. Planning, carry the planning. It's a very, very important, and many professionals don't do. I saw many professionals don't do your planning, your future, they are at the moment practically working on the company. I want to other company down in the 2 years, for example. It's very important to describe your activities at the moment and describe it is need the other activities and the future. All right. For instance, the 5 years. The next step is the Web3 financial project manager. All right, and the 7 years or over the 7 years had the Web3 finance chief finance uh, order, practically CFO. It's a order, high level. It's over 5 years, over 7 years, and profession. But it's more important. Describe the carrying plane at the moment and the future, and each years, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and over 7 years. It's very, very important, and many professionals don't do. And you are two, it's very, very important. And many professionals don't do in your career. It's the simple two called SWOT matrix. It's very, very important for your situation in career, your situation in the future, and the programmable it's your path in your career. And many professionals don't do exactly the other tools in general, but it's never very important. We have the SWOT matrix, uh, and the other tools in general. It's necessary at the mapping your carrying at the moment and the map your carry in the future. Practically, you all describe and the planning. It's for the your steps in the several years after, and the 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, over 7 years. It's a very, very important, but many professionals unfortunately don't do until.
I see. I just would like to mention for the guys who are watching us, you can now leave comments while Marcelo is skip passing through the slides. You can leave the comments because in a few minutes we will be able to ask him a few questions. So while he keep with the plan, just let us know, leave the comments, then we can jump to the comments later.
All right, all right.
Sorry to
I'm
interrupt you,
open for
Marcelo.
comments. All right. All right. Let's go following. And practically, and the mapping for the your playing, it's practically, for instance, layer 1 year cryptocurrency legal consultant, and 3 years after Web3 DAO regulatory layer. All right, and 5 year, uh, 5 years after legal manager for Web3 startups or company, big companies in general, no problem. And over 7 years, chief legal officer, CLO, and Web3. It's a for instance, all right, for any carry for any professional in general, no problem. Other carry planning, human resources, HR. Anyone first year, OM3, human resources specialist, for instance. And after 3 years, HR coordinator for deals, the deals, all right. Uh, and after 5 years, HR manager for decentralized companies. And over 7 years, chief human resources officer, CTO or any Web3, all right. I can for the any professional, no problem. Any position in general. For instance, in marketing, And the first year, Web3 digital market specialist, for instance. After 3 years, Web3 community manager. And after 5 years, Web3 marketing growth manager. All right, no problem. It's 7 years, over 7 years, chief marketing officer, CMO, and Web3. Practically, it's a basically it's a this the same thing. Career planning developer, for example, 1 year junior smart contract developer, for 3 years blockchain developer, 5 years Web3 development technical lead, and 7 years after CTO or other leader, no problem, a CTO of a Web3 company, for instance. All right, it's a practically the planning. It's basically the same professional, the same career planning for the other and any professional at any position in general. All right.
Nice, good tips, Marcelo. I have a good question here that is very related with your path on Web3. That is from Tiago. Is it possible to begin a career directly with Web3 Solidity without any experience in Web2? I
Yeah,
assume
yeah,
without
it's
experience
a
on coding. I assume he's mentioned.
it's a good question. It's possible, but it's a more difficult in general because this is necessary. Um, uh, your knowledge and the code base approximately, or JavaScript or Node, it's possible, but it's the knowledge the curve. It's more difficult, more Ingram, practically. It's necessary. Uh, have the base, the code, and any language, programming language. I recommend the Python or JavaScript, um, any Node for and facilitated to entry and Web3 directly. I learning directly and Web3 with the smart contract and Solid, and was more difficult for me. I recommend always the base code in the JavaScript, TypeScript, or Node, and base code minimum for the entry your any Web3 smart contract, Solidity, or Rust is no problem. Yeah, but it's not it's possible.
Yeah, I would like to add on Marcelo's response because that was is usually the answer I do for developers, but there is something I need to add is depending on your previous experience because as I'm seeing in your photo you have a suit. I don't know if he was a lawyer, but the other career I've seen jumping to Web3 and succeeding very in a fast pace without previous experience with coding is for lawyers because Solidity is code is law. So if you can get a broad a more broader experience around Solidity, like logic, programming logic, and how HTTP, how the internet works, some basic knowledge about the environment to deploy a Solidity smart contract, like understanding RPCs, node providers, the basic of blockchain depends on the kind of business you are working on. You can succeed with just Solidity for sure. If it's like tokenizations stuff, how would I say, high level in terms of complexity, because if it's a low level complexity like gas optimization, coding, this low level in terms of levels of machine complexity, if doesn't require a lot of machine complexity, you can do as a lawyer and write the rules for contracts and everything with just Solidity, and you know work on that because there's a lot of lawyers offices that will require, they're already requiring that. But if you goes more into the rabbit hole of development and blockchain, then for sure Solidity will not be enough. You need more deeper knowledge around the machines and language and everything. But yeah, just adding
It's a very
on
it's
Marcel.
Sure, sure. It's very interesting because this Web3 have the concept totally different and Web2. Uh, for the learning in Web3, and practically it's totally different for the learning and JavaScript, TypeScript, and other languages in general. It's a very difficult for the previous and the other languages. It's necessary the base code for the facilitated to try and the Web3.
Yeah, and last but not least, I have a question that is, I think you have a good experience on passing through them because it's more
Thank you
is related
for the question.
is related to the scams around the job opportunities, you know. So Anna asked us how to avoid failing into fake selection process. Scammers are common on Web3. How do I avoid them? I have seen a lot of jobs that are just fake and they just wants to fish you or install a malware or do whatever. How do you handle that, Marcel?
It's very dangerous. Thank you for your question. It's a problem at the moment. The several scammers mailing in the LinkedIn and GitHub. This necessary correctly all correctly study and the others several integration in general. Don't accept the links for LinkedIn. Verify always the profile and the LinkedIn, the order or the recruiter or the company in general. It's necessary all caution with the several links. Don't click and the links for the LinkedIn. All right. Always for the email and the uh, previous hours interviews with the recruiter uh, because this the dangerous click and the links in general because the scammers in general send a link for your click and they are directly theft your informations and for directly and the in the into PC directly memory and your PC and several integrations for theft the all informations for the banks, the brokers, in the mailing and the MetaMask and the other wallets in general. It's very dangerous. Don't click and
Exactly.
any link.
Yeah,
Always
I think.
interviews previews after the link.
Sorry, Marcelo. Yeah, I think the rule of thumb is don't download anything. If you requires to download anything, just close, block, and leave because you don't need to download anything and trust in your doubt. If this sounds, doubtful, you look okay. What is that? I don't know. Every question in before every question always before clicking, question always before answering, just keep eyes open because you need to filter these messages. But yeah, I would like to thank you, Marcelo, for all the knowledge he shared with us today. I'm really grateful for talk to you today, Marcelo. I would like to thank you everyone by listening and watching us, and if we have any other questions that will come up after we finish, just leave it in the comments that we can see later on YouTube, and I will share that with Marcelo. You can get answers on your Discord. As you may know or doesn't know, we have a lot of resources for education. So Marcelo today brought a lot of insights about the market, how to get a job. But before everything or during everything, you need to learn stuff, and we can help you to learn technical stuff related to development of software. We have a few boot camps to different stacks, Solana, Solidity. We have Polkadot. So resources there's not, in terms of education, they are not scarce anymore. A few years ago, there was a bit scarce because it was like just English content, but today you can find in a lot of different language. We have content in Spanish, Portuguese, and English. And yeah, I'm really grateful for our talk today, Marcelo. It was really good to have you here.
Oh, thank to you, yeah, and thank you for all. And I hope the sharing knowledge and clarify several questions, several doubts in general for the path of carry and Web3 for the devs, for the administrators, managers, layers in general, professionals, and of the Web2 for the Web3. And thank you for this opportunity.
Nice. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night for all.